Well, hello there. My name is Jay with CompuMatter and also with ServerMatter. And the purpose of this video is to teach owners of our ServerMatter servers how to VPN into their server so that they can look at the files and folders that have been shared with them on their company network and use them from anywhere in the world. Or alternatively, you may want to remote desktop into your actual computer at the office and run the applications and view the files and folders and do what you need as though you were sitting at your computer. Both of these things are available to you via VPN, and it's done through a secure tunnel that stretches from wherever you are to your server. And unlike a lot of VPN products that you might buy on the internet, where you've got your computer, you've got the VPN company out there, wherever it may be, and then you've got your office computer and it's doing this dogleg thing. With the ServerMatter server, you're going to be making a straight line between wherever you are and your server, which has the computers of your business in the same environment. Now behind me we have two different computers. One of them, for purposes of this tutorial, will represent the system at your office. That will be the blue computer. That's the computer that we're trying to VPN into and view files, folders, or control the desktop. The gold computer represents your laptop that you'll be out in the field with trying to access the blue computer from. So let's start with what you need to do from your computer at the office. Okay, to start things off on your office computer, you are looking for the file manager, which is typically going to be in a manila folder on your taskbar, or you can probably find it in here under File Explorer. Either way, it brings you to the same place. And here we're going to click on the address bar, and we're going to type in 2 backslashes, which is the key above your Enter key. And I like to look at backslashes as though you are facing to the right, your feet are on the ground, and you're falling backwards. Or you're facing to the right and you're falling forwards for forward slashes. Just something to keep in mind for the future. Let's go ahead and type in ServerMatter. And it's going to ask you for your company-wide credentials. So this video is targeting people who own ServerMatter servers. And in our case, let's just go ahead and enter in a user we created for this tutorial. And we'll have it remember our credentials and click OK. All right, and that's going to log us in and show us the folders that have been made available to us by our company administrator. The one we're interested in is the one right here that says VPN users. If you don't see that, then you're not authorized to access your company machine from the outside world. You'll need to contact your boss or server administrator and find how to make you a member of that group. But for those that are, we're going to double click on that. And here we either have an Apple user or we have a Windows user. If you're an Apple user, you'll use this file that says DMG. If you're a Windows user, you'll use this Windows installer package. And in both cases, you're going to need this next file, which is a VPN configs. So since we're dealing with the Windows installer, we're going to click that one, and we're going to click that one. We're using the control button and the mouse click to select those two files. We're going to stick in a flash drive, which we have right here, and then we're going to put those on there so we can move them to our other computer. Now, you can share them to your other computer via a cloud drive or any other method. We're using a flash drive for this example. We'll click Copy, not to be confused with Copy as Path. Slide down here to our flash drive and Show More Options and paste. Now Windows 11 is a little different than Windows 10, so some of these features might be slightly different. If we want to be able to remotely control our desktop from the outside world, we need to turn that feature on in case it's not. So click on your Start menu, type in Allow, and you'll see either Allow Remote Desktop or you'll see something that says Remote Desktop Settings. Either one of those. It's not Allow through a firewall. That's something different. Now, Windows Remote Desktop is going to require you to have the Professional Edition on your computer at the office. You don't have to have the Professional Edition if all you want to do is access the server's files remotely. That you can do either way. But if you want to remotely control your desktop computer from a different location, you need the Professional Edition. So let me make sure you understand how to know if you have that version. Click your Start button, type in the word About. You'll find About Your PC. Click on that, scroll down a little bit, and there it will be, Edition, in this case, Windows 11 Pro. If you have Home and you need to upgrade to Pro, you can go here to the Start menu, go to the Microsoft Store, type in Professional, and you'll see it right here, Windows 10 11 Pro for workstations, and you can upgrade your computer from there. In our case, we already have it, so let's move forward. Okay, so back to the task at hand, clicking on the Start button, typing in the word Allow, and you'll see Remote Desktop Settings. Turn it on, confirm it. Now you've got the ability to access this machine from anywhere. But you still need one more detail. Although you can now access this machine from anywhere, you need to know what the address of your computer is. Just like the post office can't deliver a letter to your house if they don't know what the number or the address of your house is, Remote Desktop can't find this computer if it doesn't know what IP address it is on the network, and here's how you're going to find it. Click your Start button, type in the words IP address, or the phrase. I doubt IP is a word. And then click on Ethernet settings when it comes up. And you'll see that right here. IPv4 address, in this case, 192.168.1.154. Make a note of that. You're going to need it to access this computer later in the video. All right, so that's everything we needed to do with your office computer. We put a couple of files on a flash drive for VPN. We've turned on your remote desktop. We've made sure you have Professional. Let's move over to the laptop. Now, I'm going to insert that same flash drive into the laptop. Okay. Okay, just as before, we're going to start by opening the file manager. In this case, we are going to navigate to our flash drive and double-click on the Open VPN Connect file. Choose Run. Next, Accept, Next, Install. And Finish. All right, we'll close Explorer. And behind us we have, this is letting us know there's an update. That's fine, we'll deal with that later. Okay, how to import VPN profile. And it's going to give you some tutorials here. You can just arrow through those. We don't need the tutorial. And we'll get to this screen, which we must agree with their policies. We can agree, we can OK that. And then we're going to switch over to File. We don't need URL. We're going to use a file, and we're going to put that file we put on the flash drive earlier right here. There's our flash drive, and there is the file. It's that second file that says VPN config. We can just drag that over here like so, or we can browse to the flash drive, in which case it will only show us the one file because that's the only file that qualifies. And we'll open it. Either way works exactly the same way. We'll close that. Now here, it shows the connection information for your particular company, and it requires your username and password as assigned to you by your company administrator. We're going to use the one we created for this tutorial. And you'll want to click Save Password if you're the only one who uses this computer. Otherwise, you may choose not to require credential check each time. We don't need a certificate and key because we are using credentials instead of a security key. And that's going to be required anytime we want to connect. Once again, we don't need a certificate. We'll continue. And if all goes well, this is exactly what you're going to see. It's our indicator that it's connected to the server, and that toggle turns green. So let's go ahead and close that. That's good news. Now, it's not gone away. It's actually just minimized, even though we've hit close. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, let me move myself out of the way, you'll see this little icon here. If we hover over, it says Open VPN, Connect, Connected. Let's give that a test so we can see how to use it. Okay, now that we're connected, let's talk about what we can do with that connection. We've got two options. One, we can view the files and folders that are on your server. Or two, we can remotely connect to your desktop and do a remote desktop session where we see on your laptop or home computer exactly what you see on your work computer. Again, if you've got a low bandwidth situation and you know the files and folders you want are on the server, that's going to be the quickest method. If your bandwidth is fine, you might want to remotely control your desktop experience, and we'll show you how to do both. All right, let's start with the first method. You are on your laptop at home. You're trying to get a hold of your machine at the office. You've already used the VPN software to connect the two. There is now a tunnel running from you to the server environment at your office. We're going to click on the File Explorer down at the bottom of your screen. And we'll open that up just a little bit, make it easy to see. And here comes the magic. We're going to type in 2 backslashes, the letters VPN, and hit enter. And that's it. You are now looking at the folders that you would normally be looking at if you had typed in ServerMatter while you were at your office. And if you have permission for any of these folders, they're going to be visible. If you click on the folders, they're going to be open, and whatever content you have will be immediately visible. Now, let's move on to remote desktop. Where your work computer had to have Windows Professional, it doesn't matter whether you have Windows Home or Professional on the computer you're using to access it. You will have an option for remote desktop connection. Go ahead and click it. And up will come something like this, where you'll be asked to enter in the address or computer name that you're trying to access. What you're going to do here is enter the IP address of the computer at the office that we had talked about earlier, which hopefully you've made a note of. Click Connect. And here it's going to ask you for your username and password. Now, your username and password might be one of two things depending on whether your computer at the office is joined to the domain or not. Let me give you an example. If you aren't joined to a domain, it may be something as simple as my PC or your name and the password to that computer. Let me go ahead and type that in. We'll go ahead and click Remember Me and click OK. And at that point, it accesses the computer at the office. It tests the credentials that you provided, and it logs in. And now you can see we're looking at the blue computer, which is in fact your office environment, and it looks just like we're sitting at it. And if you don't know if your computer at the office is attached to a domain, check with your own server administrator, or if you're a ServerMatter customer, reach out to us for support, and we'll be happy to guide you. But as a quick form of reference, if when you log into your computer at the office, you see something like this that has the word domain and office and so on, then you are in fact on a domain. Now, when logging in as a domain member, or your computer is attached to a domain, you're simply going to put the name of your domain before your user's name. In this case, I'm using Office. Your domain may be something else. Insert your password when prompted, and click Connect. And that'll log you into your computer the same way the other one did. No different. Now, there's a fair number of things to do initially to get you connected to your computer and to the server, get your credentials all straightened away with VPN. But once that's done, life becomes a breeze. You don't have to do any of these things again. Let me give you an example. In the lower right corner, we have OpenVPN running and connected. That's going to be the default behavior. You can right-click and exit if you want, but otherwise, it will be running. Click on your Start button. Type in remote, and you click connect because your credentials are already memorized from the last time you were here. And just like that, you're looking at your Office computer. Same thing for the files and folders. Click in your file manager, type in VPN, and immediately you're looking at anything at your office from home. And that's it. So there's a little bit of an effort to get you connected the first time, but once your away computer is connected to your office computer, accessing your server anytime you want to becomes a breeze for years to come. If you have any security concerns about remembering your password in either your VPN environment or your remote desktop environment, simply uncheck the boxes that say remember, and you'll just have to enter them manually each time. Thank you very much for being a ServerMatter customer. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Reach out to us if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to help you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.